kicked off and recording. All right, everyone, thanks so much for hopping on. I don't think I need to add anybody from the waiting room. Of course, people are gonna hop on late, but I'm excited to introduce to you our newest 4K, but also I'm excited about this topic that we are going to talk about. We've been doing virtual parties now for about a year, and it's not been utilized as much, but now we're in a place where virtual is the way to go to build our business. And if you were on that GOAT training on Saturday, you heard, I don't even know what her name is. I was so distracted for her energy, but they were the first part of the training. And she talked about all these different fun virtual activities that they do on Zoom, or I don't know that they do virtual parties on Facebook, but they leverage Zoom. And you guys, this is a way to just simply share your story. We have a product that could help people build their immune system, help people feel better, help people that may be looking for an opportunity, and we just simply have to share it. And inviting is the key to virtual parties, but so is the engagement. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Kiana. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you. Or you unmute you, okay. And why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about like when you started, how long you've been doing this, how many parties you've had, that type of thing, since you've started.
Okay, so I'm Kiana, for those who don't know me. I am turning 26 in July. My husband's actually on. He is a Thriver with us now, but he's got the baby in the other room. So he is 20 months old, and we are busy parents for sure. So I met Laura through my husband, who's actually her massage therapist. And from there, Laura brought a sample into him. He brought it home, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I was like, no, you're not. I am, because I've been talking to Laura and I wanna know what this is about. So I went ahead and started my experience right then. I felt everything on the first day. I was a cleaning freak. I think my husband thought I was crazy because I just wanted to talk and talk and talk. But yeah, that's kind of where it started. I am now a stay-at-home mom, basically. So that's another reason why Thrive was such a good option for us, especially in these times.
Yes.
So that's kind of where it started.
Why don't you, I think when I first met you, you had shared that you are working on starting your own daycare business. So were you looking at this as an opportunity? Maybe your husband.
So not 100%. So right before all of this happened, we got news that our daycare was shutting down, and we had no other choice really but for me to decide to stay home. Being he's 20 months old and is under that 2-year mark, it is so hard to find daycare in our area because it's such a small place, and 2 years old, you can only have 2, etc. But anyway, so I decided I was gonna stay home. He was still continuing working. And then when Thrive came about, I was like, well, this is a great idea. Like, yeah, I'm staying home to do daycare, but like I have no income coming in, and obviously like I didn't expect that part of it in any way, but I knew that this could be an option to help us definitely get by until we could get daycare open up. Obviously things changed. This is all happening. Everything with that has been put on back burner because they're all in-person classes and I can't do any of them right now, but it's been a true blessing to help us get by for sure.
Right. So I'm going to start asking her questions. We know she's got a Thrive experience. She's now sharing it. Laura has guided her towards doing virtual parties. Was that the first like call to action that she had for you was setting up that virtual. I know she actually came up to me. She came to me in a chat saying, what should I have her start with? So I think that we talked about virtual parties. Was that something that she had suggested that you do first?
So when I started, I obviously had that trial pack, and then I immediately, as soon as that was over, had ordered my month because I was like, yeah, I'm in, I want this. And she was like, well, what about the promoting opportunity? And I was like, she had talked to me about the parties, and I was like, well, let's see how the party goes. We'll go from there. Maybe I'll have more of a input on that once I have a party of my own. So yeah, that's where we definitely started out, was right with parties.
I'm actually going to show you guys like her parties. We're going to talk about how she invites, because I think that that's the piece that most people struggle with, but also getting people to engage. Like you can look at her parties and she has like 25 and up, I think, people attending that are invited into the party. And I would say there is a lot of activity and engagement in their parties. And that is key for people to see the interaction and to see the group, because if they don't come into the group and don't interact, they're never going to see that you invited them. So let's kind of go through the process, Kiana, of how you how you invite people to the virtual party. I know Laura's the one that sets it up for you, and you guys, you know, that stuff's in the back in the team page that we can share. But why don't you talk about like how you have been able to invite so many people and how you're able to get people to interact?
So with my personal party, I just wanted to turn out. Like I wanted people to know about this product because of what it did for me. And I literally went from the top of my list and invited absolutely every person that I could possibly invite. Like I didn't care if they needed it or wanted it or had any interest in it at that point. I was just like, look, we're going to make this happen. I want to see people doing the same thing and feeling the same way I did. So that's kind of how I started with mine. As for other people, what we do, I have a list basically of messages that I send to them. And it's broken down into, here's your link. This is the first message you're going to send. When you get a response that, yes, they want an invite, this is what you're going to send to that. And then so forth with each day, as in like on today, like I have a party today. For the day of the party, you're going to send this as a reminder 3 hours before the party. You're going to send a reminder out saying, hey, just wanted to send this out, give you a little shout out. Today's the party. We got 3 hours. It kind of gives them that reminder. And I honestly feel like that's been the biggest piece, is them seeing it 3 hours before. Oh, I need to set an alarm, or now I know it, like this is coming up. It's not just like, yeah, I've seen the things come up every day, but like today's a day. Now I know if I haven't engaged, I remember now. I kind of wrote a little list of those, but it just gets it fresh in their mind to do that, I feel like. As for the engagement part, I wrote down this long thing, so let me just read it so I don't mess it up. But I put teamwork makes the dream work. Having my other promoters and upline join my lives and engaging with those who are on there as new people who have no idea what this product is. I feel like it helps those people know that there's other people taking this product. It's not just these two people who are hosting a party and giving me this information. There's other validation there and reassurance that this product is credible. And I feel like that's been huge, is my promoters are helping each other and joining in on every single party if they can, to keep that communication going through the whole thing and being able to answer questions as people have them.
So yes, when there's that whole like monkey see, monkey do. If there's a lot of people that are engaging and sharing the same thing, they're providing that validation, and it's showing people that are interacting that it's not just one person saying how great this product is. I know that Tiffany and her team has done a great job with this too. Like, I think, Laura, if you can, Laura Becker, if you could like copy and paste the verbiage that you had her use in the beginning. I think it's pretty consistent that it's the same verbiage that you use for each party. But here's what I want you to emphasize. When you're inviting people, are you clicking invite without any conversation between you and the person you're inviting?
No, and that's like, I have had, like, don't get me wrong, you are going to have hostess who are going to do it that way, and you just kind of have to work in with them and correct them into, hey, we want these people to actually be interested in this. We don't want to just send, it's kind of like sending out a cold message is sending out a cold invite. People don't look at them. I know I have invites that people have sent me for other things that I'm like, I don't even know what that is. But when you personally reach out to them and it's from your heart and you can engage with them, even if they're not interested, you planted a seed in that person, and then when you pop up on their feed, they could be like, oh, I wonder what they're up to now. I wonder what that company's doing for them at this point. But I definitely feel like having that personal invite changes everything.
Right.
People think it's more like, oh, she's inviting me. That's awesome. Not, oh, 500 people got invited to the same thing.
Right. Exclusive, right? Exclusivity. Right. You actually paid attention to wanting to invite someone. It's a special invite, personal extension of an invite to something that you're passionate about. So I think that is key too. I think in the past, what I have noticed is that when people want like uplines to run their parties, they'll invite people, and the person that's putting the party together will walk away expecting the upline to just run it themselves. And Laura, chime in if you think this is true. You know, like, you really have to they have to see your face because they know who you are, and they trust you. They don't know me, but they'll trust our story, right? Because we're validating it for her. So now, on your first party, was that when you switched over to promoter?
Yes.
And did you have orders come in at that party?
I had 2 customers and 2 promoters from my party. Yeah.
And how many people did you invite?
54 were invited and took the invite as a personal message for each of them. It was a lot of work like that, and I think that's the hardest thing. We are the hostess, but then we have trying to think of like what you would consider. I guess the person hosting the party is the hostess, and then we just do the work for them, but they have to do their legwork in the inviting. And I think that's where like you can fall short. And sometimes I know we have a party this week that we crammed in, and it's been a little harder than most of them have been because the time is so short. But as long as you're working with them and helping them and guiding them, I feel like they know like, oh, this is all I got to do. Like, yeah, it seems like a lot, but at the same time, you're helping these customers get their product for free and helping others at the same time.
Right. Yes. So Laura put in the chat, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, the inviting and legwork on the hostess is key. It'll make or break the party. And it's true. And I remember Laura coming to me a while back ago, and this is before Kiana hopped on, and she said the parties aren't as successful as they once were. So there will be some misses, but if you put the effort into planning a great party, you will see a difference. And so you got your 2 customers and promoters from that first party. You hit 4K in less than 30 days. Or 30 days? Yeah, well, in 30 days. You can get your iPad in 30 days. And then your iPad. Like this, it's so hard for us to get out. And I know Tensi is great at like on location parties, but right now it's really challenging for us to do that because of social distancing. And with everything that everybody's doing across the board, not just in Lavelle, schools, everything, everybody is virtually coming in and doing the things. And so it's, you know, I don't know if this is part of, you know, when you're being invited during this time, it makes you feel like you're a part of community, because right now everybody is at home, stuck at home. But yet when we're being invited to these virtual parties, it's almost like not necessarily seeing each other, but you're being a part of a community. So what else did I have for you? So let's talk about how many parties have you had? Or are you having?
From
Yeah.
when I started until the end of this month, we have 10 total. I have from yesterday to Wednesday, we have 5 in those day periods.
Right. And then just curious, Kiana, when we go back to like your first party, like how much time did you spend inviting people? How much time did you spend either in your direct message or on a phone?
It's so hard because I just wanted a good turnout, and like I said, I wanted people to know about this product. So I did take some time, obviously, because you have different types of people, so you want to make each message a little more personal to the person. But at the same time, it wasn't a lot of time, like maybe an hour, just steady doing it, just to make sure that I got an outreach to everybody that I thought would benefit from it. So it's really not a whole lot that I would think of. It's just if they want to do the work, you know, they want to put in that extra legwork for it.
And it pays. I mean, when you work hard to actually get something done, it actually pays off. So I love that, Laura, that you provide your hostesses with directions, and she attached a link. So if you're not looking at the chat, look at the chat. This is being recorded, it saves the notes, but Laura attached like first message, second message, day after party. She sent the instructions on what she sends to the hostess. Like, it is all there. Yes, and last piece that Laura mentioned. Laura, if you want to hop on, or if not, I will talk.
I can. I'm not doing my video right now because my back and my neck is messed up, and I can't even reach the top of my head. So I'm looking not very pleasant right now. But I do want to say that Kiana is. She is a rare breed because we've must have been doing this for years, and you don't find someone who is as coachable as she is. She's like that dream promoter who everyone envisions, who does exactly what you tell them to do. Now, that's not to say she doesn't put her own twist and her own flair on things, which of course we want her to do, but she doesn't think she has to reinvent the wheel. She doesn't think, oh, well, I'm going to do my own thing completely differently. She does what we tell her to do, and she's getting results from it. And she's also now seeing it's difficult to lead people because they all have their own flair, which is fine. But some people either aren't comfortable with the inviting process, or they're afraid they're gonna, I don't know, people are going to be like, oh, here's another one of those parties. She steps out of that comfort zone, and it's working. She's getting results. So the fact that she's coachable has been super, super important.
I think that's key. And, I'll be the first to admit, like I said, I wasn't going to do anything Elise told me to do. Until you can get to that place where you humble yourself and say, all right, my way doesn't work. If I'm still doing what I'm doing, then I'm not going to get the same results. Until I actually change what I'm doing, will I start to see new results. So do you guys have questions for us or Kiana with these virtual parties?
I have 2 other things too.
Oh, yeah. Please share.
So with the Facebook parties, if you're not like used to doing them, there is a way to go in and set up, like if you are having parties back to back to back, there is a way to go in and set up that you have all of these posts set at a certain time and they'll automatically post for you. Now, I've not gotten to that because I'm home and I have nothing better to do than go on and make sure that I'm posting these when I feel the need to. But that is an option when things do get back to a little more normal, that they will just automatically post and you won't have to worry about, oh, did I forget to post this or whatnot with that. And then, go ahead, Carmel, did you have something?
Go ahead.
Okay. And then the other thing I typed out because I didn't want to forget, but I said, obviously our mission is to get our promoters and all of our customers thriving for free. So I've made it a point to express to my customers and my downline that we can continue to keep the ball rolling with each new added member and share their benefits and experiences with others in their circle, and foremost, giving them the opportunity of growth. But with that, just explaining to my customers, if we get 2 referrals under you by having a party, you're not going to have to pay for your product. And as we've been doing that, it's just gone down the line. My husband had a party. Now his people are having parties. So it kind of is just kept going with that. So it's just like when you start and your pyramid starts growing, it just continues growing with these parties down the line.
And I think the thing to note is, though, that you are keeping it simple so it's duplicatable. Now,
Yes.
That person that decides to duplicate is where it starts to snowball into duplication if they choose to follow what you're doing. So keeping it simple, keeping it duplicatable, but she's also keeping it fun. So I've done, like, this is the second Zoom we've done on virtual parties. But now is the time where we're stuck at home, right? You guys, you have to, if you're not having daily conversations with people and you're not inviting them to the customer group or virtual party, your business will never grow. And I know some of you might be saying, well, I'm not really in the place to sell right now because I just don't know how people will receive it. That is a message you are playing in your own head. You have to be willing, you have to see this as a solution for people that want to feel their best. If they say no, they're saying no to that stick of gum that you're offering them, and that's it. They don't want the piece of gum right now. They don't want your cup of coffee. They just, not right now. And that's all. You have to let it roll off your shoulders and just simply think of it and be confident that this is a solution that everybody needs. It's just a matter of getting them exposed and getting them to know what it is that we have to offer. Because the majority of the time, they don't know what they're saying no to. So, and this is an opportunity where they get an education about the product. As soon as someone calls. Oh, okay. I was like, sorry. Have you done any Zooms? I've actually done a few Zooms, Leanna. They work just as well because not everybody is on Facebook. You can't schedule the post. So, you know, I think the biggest thing about this virtual party is that first engaging piece that we have, which is the poll. And that one is really important just because it tells us exactly what these people want and how we can angle our conversation to that next step of what kind of solution we have to offer them, right? That's probably the only thing. And I think Claudia's gonna check to see if this is doable on an events page. I don't know that I'll do it on an events page because scheduling posts and doing a poll, I think, are two things that I need. But also, Hannah, one of our the news promoters that I brought in, she had a party last year. And we went back there and looked to see who we invited. And I said, these are the people maybe we should reconnect with. You know, so it was last year, but we were able to go back to that group and look at what posting as, you know, their pain point. So I don't know, like Laura, you probably had a bajillion groups with Beachbody, and now we're doing more groups with virtual parties. Yes, I guess that would be too, Leanna, that would be a good idea if they could just drop it in the chat maybe. And if you have your Zoom set to save the notes, you'll be able to see it there. But then not all the time will you see names attached to the guests too, I think. So that would be probably the hard part. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. You said that you're recording this, but will all the stuff that's in the chat be available from the recording as well?
Yes, and what I'll do is I will post it on the, I will give them to you, Hannah, and I will post them on the team page.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I've got a really quick one.
Sure.
So Kiana, you're doing, is there any chance that we can like eavesdrop into one of your parties so we could see how they flow? Are you interviewing people? I'd like to just be on one because I'm a visual learner. And I like to see how that would work for my people.
Of course, yeah.
Amy, have you seen the virtual party unit in the team page?
Yes, we have had some success with the one that Liana set up. We used to do them a lot more frequently, but we haven't in a little bit. So I'd like to kick those back into gear, but I know everybody does them a little differently, but are you using that same one, Kiana?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry, I missed that question.
I think the only, what I've noticed that she does differently is she has her own banners.
Yeah, they're fun.
I think do you still keep them to roughly about 15 minutes, 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, Laura said she'll add you, Amy.
Yeah, we have one right after this. Also to add, after the day of the live, usually either I myself or whoever's hosting the party, if they've been on their Thrive experience and have some input, will go live the next day and just share their experience. And that gives everybody like that extra person and that extra story to kind of try to relate with as well.
And we do try to, we do make sure that they are aware of compliance, not saying, any medical terms. So we do make sure that that's in there as well.
Laura, have you ever, I know you do a video, instructional video for your hostesses. I'm starting to think that a video message in the beginning of welcoming everybody might also be beneficial, either from the hostess or from the person running the show, probably the hostess, because then they'll be able to see face, but I don't know. I know people are a little apprehensive about video, so.
Carmel, I think that's a great idea. And the one thing that we have been incorporating is what Kiana said, is that when she said, how do you feel about me going on the next day, talking about my experience? And again, that's another source of validation. And not everybody who's in the party has heard Kiana's story because this is her first time reaching out about the product. But what I found also, I think, is that people who are willing to go live in that small party page, they're more likely, once they get their feet wet, if they choose to become a promoter, they're more likely to be willing to go live on their regular Facebook page, which we know is key in building our business.
Yes.
And I think that's like what's helped me grow so fast in learning about the company and learning about the products. I know Laura was like, let's get Carmel and some other people, because I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk and say the same thing over and over again. But I feel like that's been a huge part of me knowing how to talk about the 3 steps and everything, because I've seen it over and over and over again. It kind of just sticks with you.
Yes. So fast track to training.
Mhm.
Kiana, can you add me to the Facebook party right after this too? I want to watch.
Kiana, can you add Hannah to the party, to your party?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Anything else? I will post this recording on the team page. And I believe I have, if I don't have the notes saved, I know that all the verbiage Laura has. So, and so does Kiana. So we'll make sure we get that out. What kind of, oh yes, great. Giveaways. Laura and Kiana, what do you find is most successful?
Well, we've recently run into a problem because she's had so many. I have almost no credits left, and my husband's account, because she's direct to my husband. So I've run out both of our accounts of credits, which I'm happy to do so. But so we've been giving away $50 in credits for the raffle prize winner if they're ready to start their Thrive experience, so they can get a free pack of DFTs. If they're not ready to start their month sample of a Thrive experience, then they can opt for prize option B, which is a 4-day sample of Thrive, which I send via the company, the sample mini experience. And then we also say for the first 2 people who comment, I'm in, they get $25 off of their order. So it kind of gives that sense of urgency. The first 2 people, oh, I better write it in as quickly as I can. So, and then sometimes if I'll say, oh, you know what? So I've been on the one with Kiana when she had 25 people on as soon as I went live, which never happens immediately. Like 3 people wrote on in as I said it. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I have enough credits to go for 3 people. So that's been working as well. But now we're moving into plus line products probably, since we don't have any credits, and she's got 5 more parties before the end of the month.
Kiana, are you like sharing anything about these are you sharing what kind of giveaways are being given?
So in the banner, it says, I've got one pulled up. It says tune in live for a chance to win a raffle prize valued at $50. So when they join, that's right at the top. In almost every post that we post, like the poll, the GIF, it'll say this is your first entry for towards the $50 raffle. And the second one, this is a second if you comment your GIF towards your towards the raffle kind of idea. But we never really state what it is until the very end towards the live.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, Liana. All right. I will get this recording. I'm going to make sure they are saved in the units, but it'll also still be under virtual parties, because we have a unit in there on the team page that is under virtual parties. So, KK. All right. Thanks so much, Kiana. Congratulations on hitting 4K. And I know the momentum isn't stopping. So, all right, you guys. Have a great evening. Bye.